This is the October 23rd meeting of the Douglas Historic Commission, 2018. David Metz,
Betsy Youngsma.
Betsy Youngsma,
Becky LaValle.
Dawn Fontaine. Dawn, do you want a piece of paper?
I know Sean.
What? Oh, no, it's okay. What?
No Sean.
He didn't respond.
I reminded his parents. I saw his parents.
Oh.
I said,
Yeah, I
Meeting.
don't know.
"Have I been to?" I thought you must know that's all.
So Sean is MIA. I'm gonna.
Particular.
It shows up great.
right. Yep.
So call to order.
Yep.
Excuse me. So first we want to accept the minutes from the, I don't have the right copy.
The last meeting.
Yeah, the April 25th, looks like was our last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so I guess our first thing on the agenda is the East Douglas Historic Inventory. Or ongoing project?
Yes, I've got about, I think it's probably about 60% complete.
Okay.
And I hope to finish it up again before this fall, sometime in the next month and a half.
Yeah, let's, right.
My work
Maybe
schedule is
Christmas.
my work schedule's gotten very busy now. In fact, I have to take 2 weeks' notice to get this hour off in the morning because
Yikes.
retail is just, we're cranking up and we've had people leave the store, and so we're covering for everybody else. We have a skeleton.
Yeah.
So I've been
Where are you
working-
working now?
DXL in Auburn, men's retail,
Big and tall.
big and tall. Guys that start at 38, 40 and up.
Milty.
Milty.
Ah.
So it's
48, 40,
it's basically now, because our manager's moved off, so anyway, but I am working on it, and what I'm hoping to do for Thanksgiving is have, as much as I have completed, Dawn and I have spoken about this, put that onto a smart disk, I'm forgetting what it's called.
Jump drive?
A jump drive, because I have a couple of them. And
Mhm.
actually bought one that has high capacity, that I can transfer those. And how did we say we needed to save them? Because we went through that exercise when you were
Mhm.
looking at them earlier this summer. Because I have them in Pages, because I use a Mac, we have to resave it as like a Word
It
document.
has to, yeah, Word
Right,
document. on
so I save it, and then I transfer it to a
Oh, I
Word
see.
doc.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I look through to make sure that everything gets transferred, because that was the problem I was having earlier, that
Yeah.
sometimes it didn't save it properly, it would get corrupted. Also, because now that the leaves are coming down, thank you, Becky, noting that, there's a few properties I want to just reshoot, and I'll probably do that if I can,
Oh.
if I have Friday off, which I'm supposed to have Friday off, I can reshoot some of the properties downtown. There are just a few that
Okay,
I wanted it, because I know Sean took a few with me and they didn't come out properly.
okay.
And-
And you don't want to get them from the online, because the online system has photos too, which I could put in. You go in by, like Keg's list, it's,
Oh, I can pull
you
the
know,
ones off the
program.
town site.
Yeah, off of the,
Yeah, but there are a few that I gave, again, because there are a few where the addresses,
are,
We've run
like,
into
there's
that.
like AB or
the
something.
AB, the
yeah.
ABCs and some of those downtown that are near corners are not quite right. So I
Yeah.
just want to reshoot those and
Okay.
have them as my own reference, but again, they're probably 70% complete with the list. And a lot of the stuff that's further out near the perimeter of the town, all those seem to be intact. It's mostly the later infill stuff that's in the downtown area were the ones that had the voids that weren't filled in properly.
Yeah.
That's what I've been mostly focusing on.
Okay.
So those are almost complete.
Okay.
So that's been encouraging. Sorry for the delay on that.
Yeah, we can have a look at the final stages,
Right, right.
putting it together and transferring it in the
Right.
right format.
That's good. Again, I'm trying to get my schedule for the month ahead. Now, because of work, we're planning out 2 or 3 weeks in advance, so everyone knows what their schedule is.
Yeah,
So I'll know better than, probably by next week, how we go through Thanksgiving. So I'll see what days I might have off,
okay,
so that'll help.
okay.
I don't want to jump your agenda, so go ahead.
Oh, no, that's okay. I guess the next thing on the agenda was grants for threatened properties.
Yep.
So it's on-
We just got something end of September this year from the Commonwealth. There is a new round of eligible applications. The deadline is November 19th. And again, I was thinking that maybe we do something for the fire station, stabilization or restoration, the old one. What is it, the Sokol Hall,
Mhm.
the Mumford Lodge.
So that's the one right on the street?
Yeah, right on Depot Street. Um,
The so-called.
The Mumford.
Not the Sokol.
Not the so,
That's-
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. the
Depot,
lodge.
the Depot.
Depot Street,
Yeah, Lodge,
I would include the old
Masonic
school.
Lodge.
in the old school, yes.
The old school by
school.
us, not the, well, actually, both old schools.
Both old schools, yeah.
Center School.
Yeah.
Thank you, that,
Center School and the old elementary
Right,
school?
right.
yep,
Okay.
VFW and Red Building.
And these are for 2019, and it's all in here, as far as, you know, what you have to do. Again, I know someone, I'm gonna be seeing her in the next few weeks, who writes grants, but I think it's pretty boilerplate. Eligible applicants are local historic commissions, historic district commissions, town and planning offices. Um,
How much is the grant for? Does it say that?
It's a 50/50 grant.
Oh.
Grant should be no less than 5,000, and total project cost of, minimum project cost of 10,000. Community-wide survey grants are $10,000 minimum, total project cost of at least 20,000. There's no maximum, however. So they
No
may be
maximum.
possible, right,
Okay, so if we were to even get the smallest one, we'd have to come up with 5,000.
right.
So it'd be something what would we do then?
You know, and then what would the town's purpose be for the building afterwards?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, this happened because it just came in literally.
Right, I
2-3
mean, those
weeks
are
ago.
things.
So if you were to look at the buildings we're talking about, probably the one that's in the best condition for a town purpose would be the center school.
Right,
Because
right.
that was used for years
Yeah, yeah,
as the VFW. It actually did have a purpose for, up until what, not even 10 years ago.
right. So, yeah, we have to pick our battles here.
Right. Wasn't the town selling the elementary school?
Yeah, they've had it on market, but I don't think it's on market
Well,
now.
I think one of the
Yeah,
problems
that's
is where the new elementary school is, they've got to be careful what they can put in there
Mhm.
because the school's right there, so.
So it's
Right,
not
this-
on the market anymore?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
Because I think you can't put certain things due to the proximity
Right.
to a school.
It's like having a liquor store next to a church.
We've got a couple of those.
I know, like, but that
Put
is
it
by
in
town,
for-
by town
For
law.
housing though.
Huh?
They could put it in for housing.
Yeah. I can check the zoning on that. And is everyone, I assume everyone's been sworn in for 2018?
I did.
You did your thing, because I think you were one of the few that were up for renewal June this year.
I
I was
don't,
gonna stop by, right? see if you
I
need
think-
to.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
usually
I was
some
sworn in for
else.
something, but does it cover once you've done the, like, the other boards?
I don't know.
I'll
No.
have to check.
Just check with Ms. Furno, see if you need to register or sign in again. Usually you get a notice or I get an
Yeah,
email.
and I had to fill out the online, that you weren't gonna,
Right.
take your,
The ethics test.
yeah, the ethics test, or take your role.
Ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are some other things that came in between our last meeting. Preservation Awards, 2018 nomination form. Again, this is already passed, but it's nice. Should we take a look at that? And there's
Oh, so those are the library.
the local American Antiquarian Society, which is in Worcester. I'm a member, and so I get the announcements of various historic events that they host. And they might actually be a resource we can tap into at some point.
Was that in Worcester?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
Worcester.
Okay.
up on Salisbury Street.
And they have an incredible collection of
I actually did.
archives.
I
Yeah, I
did
would
one-
assume you know about it.
Well, actually, I did one of my internships there.
Yeah, right. So,
I know the building well.
was something else in town that was pending.
I know, should we really focus on one of these buildings and try to do something about it?
Honestly, I think one of the ones that upsets me most is the center school.
Yep.
Because I just watched that top, the roof on the porch, and just see it sinking more and more.
I mean, I don't know, I mean, without a vision for what it would be used for.
Well, I guess that's what, like, starting to talk to whoever's managing it.
Well, it's got a really good sized room.
The center school,
Yeah, you go
there's a
in-
hallway, yeah, there's 2 rooms on each
And
side,
they're
and a full basement.
they're huge room, like, cause we used to have Girl Scouts there.
Those rooms are good size. I believe they've got a decent kitchen.
Do they?
I thought they did.
Well, when I went to school there, they didn't have a kitchen there. We had to walk home for lunch.
Uphill
Both
both ways.
ways,
Yeah.
in 10 feet of snow.
The graveyard.
But that one's legit.
But, I mean, there's really no places in town to hold any events.
Right, I know they've been doing that down in Harrisville, Rhode Island. They have this hall that they've converted now to social stuff, and so they get
Yeah.
theater performances.
But I mean, like,
That'd be
if you
nice.
wanna do anything, you've gotta rent from the Sokol, or you've gotta poke one of the churches, and
Right.
So, and I know that the Boy Scouts are trying to turn the old,
Fishing
The
game.
fishing
Camp house.
game, but that's still, so I mean, look at it as
Is that
maybe,
still ongoing?
yeah, it's very slow. They're doing most of the work on the inside
Okay.
because they're working after work, weekends, and it's what they can get done.
Right,
I know
they're private, that's private.
Yeah, and I
Right.
know they were looking for money to replace the roof, and then they were gonna have solar panels put on the roof to make it, yeah. But I mean, if you look at taking the center school and making it into some kind of function
Community center.
for the town, that might be, like, that's, would bring once it's done, you could bring revenue in, because you'd be renting it.
Right.
And
And-
some of the same issues I think that the other school has in terms of lead paint, making it biohazard clean, to make sure there's no issues there, and then stabilizing the building. So, yeah, that's probably your best bet.
So, does anyone have an idea? Well, first of all, does anyone know if it's being used for anything? Is
Nope.
it just empty?
Nope,
It's
it's
empty.
vacant.
And did you say it got stripped?
Yep. It's vandalized.
And they
So it
stripped
has
the
no
copper.
electrical, it has no heating.
Oh, they took out that?
They took everything out.
Jeez.
The good thing is there's parking there.
There's mold in the bath, in the basement. Adam Furno would be the one to contact.
Okay.
So we can make cheese there.
Yep. Lots of it.
But if you're looking at positives, it's got parking.
Yep.
It's not in the
nice
center of
building.
town, you're kind of moving out of the center of town. It's a pretty area, like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right on the edge of the, I think it will actually maybe in the Old Douglas Historic District,
Yeah.
because that goes to Mr. Manning's house.
Right.
yep, so.
So
Like
it
you
is
said,
in the
there's
district.
some if you're looking at the positives, there's quite a few positives of
Yeah, it sees a ton
picking
of
that
traffic. Yep.
as picking that building.
All right, so I could call Adam, but then what, and he could tell us, you know, the good and the bad and whatever, but then we're
Probably
talking
worth
like
us
a.
doing a tour.
Yeah, maybe we go as a
Yeah.
group, and then, then we're talking like a, you know, major, many thousands of dollars. So if we, you know, we could maybe get a grant for part of it, but then this
Or we
poor
look,
town.
or we look at it as, okay, this year we can get 1 grant. What is the major thing that needs to be done?
Yeah,
Mold and lead, like,
Right, right.
Mm.
so
Yeah.
you pop out trying to get rid of the biohazard stuff. Then next year, well, now we've done that, we look at electrical and plumbing. And maybe we do see if you can do something with getting solar panels
Sure.
and that type of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a sunny site, there's no trees all around it, so it's
Right.
exposed to sunlight all day, and it has angled roofs, so.
So yeah, if you don't, because I think one of the problems is you see a building like that and you want to be able to go and have it done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But what if we phase it? What if we say, well, what are the main phases that would need to be done to complete this? How can we easily break them up and
Yeah.
then go from there?
Yeah, that sounds
And a
good.
fund me campaign.
Yeah, I don't know how stable those buildings are either.
What do you
What's
mean?
What's its vintage?
Ooh.
Early 20th century, isn't it?
I think
Yeah,
late
1910.
I thought it was late 18.
My
It's
mother went to
1890 to
school.
1915, that's kind of my guess, based on the
Yeah,
appearance.
might be 1895,
Yeah.
yeah, something
I,
like that.
I remember that basement was solid. Like the foundation. I mean, granted, we're talking a few moons ago, but that basement was. I want to say it was a stone basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, the stone basement's almost more solid than a cement.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
So I think the foundation is solid.
Just never know.
The other thing that would have to be taken into consideration with any building we are looking at, they are all multi-floor and not one of them is ADA compliant.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
But the way that one's set up,
Does that
you
have
could,
a side, go through a side entrance?
I was gonna say, the way that one's set up, you can either probably do a side or a back
ramp,
entrance with a
ramp.
ramp.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think so.
Yeah,
But that is always something you need to take into consideration with everything we're looking at, because
Yeah.
nothing in this town is ADA compliant.
yeah,
Oh.
right.
Nothing
Well, the new
is.
fire station is.
This place is.
It's kind of sort of, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
a lift.
Okay. All right. Oh, and then they had update on archival work at the Jenks store.
Moving. Slowly.
Yep. Copy and I went through blueprints, those blueprints that are upstairs.
Okay.
We found them for a lot of the old Schuster houses, not a few of the Schuster houses, but
Right.
the Schuster like buildings that they made for the housing for their employees. We found
That's
those.
cool. Wow.
We found blueprints for the Schuster Mill. We found blueprints for this building.
Oh, that would be so cool to do like a nice frame and have that hanging in here.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it from disintegrating. They were rolled up. They're in pieces.
Well, they need to be
Oh.
scanned and
Yeah.
and redone at like Staples,
Yeah,
which I
but-
work right next to now. And they do a very good job.
There you go.
But Cuppy was gonna talk to one of his contacts and about what they would suggest for stabilization.
Mhm. Right.
Okay.
Did you order your box?
Put it on a substrate. That's
Order your
awesome.
box before you go.
I will do that today.
Yeah,
There is-
Uxbridge has a blueprint scanner. They're
Yeah.
the only ones, I know they do.
But like I said, part of the concern
Okay.
is just the condition of them, even moving them around. Like Cuppy, somebody who actually, because he never upgraded to technology, he still works with old blueprints. Even he was very, very hesitant
Yeah.
moving them
They get
around.
brittle- They get very
Okay.
brittle.
Yeah. Well, some of them, we actually found a couple from the late 1800s, and quite a few of them were early 1900s.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we're talking, some of these are well over 100.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the blueprints they have of the marked up blueprints of the Grand Trunk Railroad bed that ran through Southbridge. And they have them all in plasticized sleeves,
Mm.
sealed, in a big giant, like a giant credit card sleeve. And it's UV protected, the whole thing, so it's very, well, you know, those giant books you have up in the library in Uxbridge,
Mhm.
with the maps of the towns, with all hand tinted, they're incredible.
Well, we're-
Done-
We're
done
getting,
handled well.
we're getting an archival box. Cuppy's got some oversized cardboard from his own blueprint work, so we'll put them, we probably won't have enough to put it in between each page, but we'll have enough to at least put them in between each section
Mhm.
Yeah.
to keep them separated.
Okay.
And there's a group on the Valleycast team in Northbridge, Whitensville. There's 3 or 4 people on the committee who are working on developing a museum in that site, It's probably gonna be in the basement of the 1826 brick building, which is
Mhm.
stabilized and it's used as a building. It's got full HVAC and all that stuff. So we'll have most of the stuff from the Whiten's Mill complex, but they're certainly amenable to having regional displays of other equipment or keeping it archivally there as well. So that's an idea.
So
We wanted to
where-
have those things.
In White
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, where
Do you
as you're
remember?
coming across,
We found a bunch of
you know,
those.
the Valley Cast, the alternatives.
Those mill
There's,
books. Do you remember?
Here's
them
Douglas
before?
Street, there's the
You know, ones
Mumford
I'm
Mill,
talking about, they
there's
were,
White Machine
they
Works,
weren't
there's
a
Town
full,
Hall,
they were like half
that's
of
Church
this.
Street,
Mhm.
there's the, here, and there's the
Upstairs in the
1826
drink
mill,
store.
Yeah, they
and
were
the
for a
old,
mill. Remember
Foundry.
which
Yes.
one?
No.
There's the river.
We should,
So it's
I
right
don't know.
here.
I keep thinking we should probably get them out
These
of
two
there.
buildings, and there's the piazza.
Right there were alternatives.
Are you doing anything
Yeah.
with Gag?
Okay.
Right,
Or
it's
are you
gonna be in the
still-
basement of this building.
Okay.
They have the forge, all that stuff.
Into the
I help you in the
They-
winter.
Things are just,
I know.
My life got turned upside down.
With the work they're doing in Worcester, right, with the first they're doing a lot of the revitalization stuff since the baseball team is going there.
Yeah.
But then there's that, I don't know the name of it exactly, but that building that they're renovating, the historical, like it's supposed to be a whole historical center, right, in 146? I just wonder what, I don't know, what's entailed there and like is there a way to connect with them somehow? And I'm just trying to think of how we do some of this stuff without having to put money up and so everybody, like it's not all on the town. Is there some way to like partner with some of the other groups in the county that are doing
I
things?
think one of our biggest problems is we just don't have the volume in town. Like if you think of every place, a certain percentage are gonna be history, revitalization. Well, we're so small that our percentage is just isn't gonna bring us fun. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Just hit the quiet, just turn the volume down and shut off.
Colorado, I know no one in Colorado. She calls me every day.
Oh, nice.
Ugh, I've been getting these spam texts, I can't get rid of them. Like,
We-
stop it.
Jed got one for the house in Arizona, and now he gets them practically every day. We want to buy the property, and there's nothing he can do to stop them. They're like, if you reply stop, they're going to make it even worse. So you just have to ignore.
Just, yeah, so annoying.
Oh, yeah, they're doing, there's stuff on Harding Street and the Canal District.
Yeah,
Right
the
at the
Canal
bottom of
District,
that.
yeah.
Is where, and, you know, the brothel of a hotel,
Yes.
the Vernon Hotel, whatever, on the
Right.
corner in Kelly Square, that's all gonna get redeveloped.
Right.
I'm very upset about that.
Oh, what?
Kelly Square is a badge of honor. If you can drive through Kelly Square,
Yeah, yeah.
you can do anything. And they're taking away the fun that's Kelly Square.
Sorry. Progress. And I know people that are up there, I can certainly ask around. In fact, I've been trying to contact people there for Valleycast. To get them more involved, say, we want to connect with Northbridge and Worcester. and
There
get
was
some-
I don't think I could go for some reason, but they had a meeting of like the whole Kelly Square and Canal District revitalization at Crumlin Collective, and it was just like interested parties
Right.
kind of brainstorming thing.
Piggyback on that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure they'll do another.
And on the 27th, which is what, the Saturday?
Yep.
That is the opening of the Worcester Tourism Blackstone Valley Corridor,
Mm-hmm.
new complex, which is right up past Walmart, complex on 146, as you're heading into Worcester on the left side. And that brownfield site, that's opening on the 27th.
Oh, it is?
And
Okay.
there's an unofficial, probably ribbon cutting at 9 to 10 a.m. and then that with the heavies, and then after that, it's open to the general public.
Oh, yeah, that.
I'm working again, but I'm gonna go up that morning and at least, try to get an ear of somebody up there and ask about some of this stuff.
Okay, all right, I might be able to do that too.
Now, now that we have that office seat right in Worcester, because we really haven't had any, our other presence was always down in Woonsocket. We have that, the complex in Linwood Mill with the tourism and chamber there, so we have these
Right.
closer resources now. They're in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So between that, alternatives, we may be able to bring more pressure to bear towards getting funding for events
Right.
and rehab work in Douglas.
So has anyone done a grant before? And like, do you, I guess, like, my silly question is, like, can we get money first without knowing what we're using it for? But we probably need to know what we're using it for,
A
right?
grant needs to
Have a
be
specific
a
goal.
specific goal.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
took a grant writing class in grad school. I know Justin's gotten me a couple of grants through the library.
Yeah.
Um,
When's he due
it-
back?
he-
29th?
I think, yeah.
Next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sent him some information and I got the automated thing saying,
He's
I'm
in-
away.
Yeah, he'll be
So-
back, he's in
For
Seattle
Halloween.
right now.
Mhm. Drinking coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Where is he?
Seattle. And every
Good
time he
place
has a
to
cup
drink
of
coffee.
coffee, he's letting us know he's had a cup of coffee. The thing with grants is, I mean, talk about every I dotted, every T crossed.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
there's-
you have to have a specific goal in mind, like, the center school will become the headquarters for the DPW, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
And also that's when like having phasing
Right.
Helps.
helps, because you're like, we know that this is a huge project, we're not looking to
Right.
Do it all in one
do it
fell
all
swoop.
at once, we're looking to do X, Y, and Z, and this is how we're looking to do
Must
it.
be
Yeah.
a need for it. The
Right.
town has to have a
So I'm
need
just
for
trying to
that.
think without impacting the town, that's, everything's like, forget it, like, so if you get a grant that covers some of it, like, what do we do about covering
Right.
some of the other things? Is there, or maybe another group in town has a budget that they could,
Well,
You know.
you know our other group is not.
yeah, I know.
The Historical Society doesn't, and I don't know if there are any, because I mean, the Boy Scouts have kind of taken,
Oh yeah, Boy Scouts can do some projects.
They've got-
Well, volunteer.
yeah. As far as like groups that would make use of it, I'm not sure what we would have for groups that would.
I thought the DPW at one time was looking at it as a potential,
Headquarters, like,
well, I wouldn't say headquarters, or a police station.
Like the police station?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because who got the funding for the one that they're building in Sutton, where the Bluebird used to be? That's a huge project.
What is that becoming? I saw them building.
If you go up,
Well, I know
Right.
where it is. I saw
Yeah.
them building. I just didn't know
Manager,
what it
that's
was.
the police station.
Yes.
The
Oh.
police station for Sutton.
but the thing is, it became an empty lot. It's a lot easier to develop an empty lot than it is to
For
convert.
rehab, yes, of course, that's
Yeah.
the irony here.
Renovate you're right, and is that big enough? Is that big enough? Because most grants also have a 20-year
Pay it back.
yes, they wanna look 20, will this still be used as a DPW or a police
Oh.
station in 20 years?
Yeah.
Even if your town grows to 25,000,
Right.
so
Right.
they also want a long-term,
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, renting it out as a public space is a great idea, but like, is there enough of that and will people pay enough for it? Is there like a secondary, like say daytime usage, people rent it out nights and weekends? Is there something else during the day?
Is there any daycare in town?
I think you'd be looking at an even bigger problem doing something like that because of the
Licensing.
age and the biohazard.
Yeah, I don't
and-
realize that, I'm just asking because I'm.
No, I don't think
Nothing
they're,
I'm aware of.
nothing public anyway. Um,
Handball court, indoor sports.
I know.
Sports.
Yeah, could you do recreation,
Because what's the one that's down off of West Street in
the
Uxbridge?
HAB.
There's a big
Yeah.
center that has all sorts of
Yeah.
exercises.
a positive is that it's not in the center of town. A negative is that it's not in the center of town. Because if it was center of town, you could look at doing like putting in pool tables, kind of making it like as a, because okay, the teenagers hang out at the library,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well-
There's not a lot of room for them to do that.
and
Right.
we
They can't reach critical mass and go viral.
and they also they can't be as loud as they want. But like, as you've got a senior center. Well, what about like a teens?
Yeah.
A
Something.
teener center.
But like I said, the problem is that it's not in the center of town, like at
Because
least,
people can't walk to it.
yeah.
Right.
Well, there is, and this is probably, the- no, not much of a secret. The lot, of course, from the fire station, the new fire station,
Yep.
there are proposals on, that are, I'm attending on those. It's gonna be Dunkin' Donuts and several other businesses potentially in there, because I have a customer who's interested in that site. And that's pending this fall in terms of going through the plans. I've seen the plans, very comprehensive review. So
Who
that is a-
owns that?
Huh?
Who owns that?
I don't know,
Does GBI still own that?
I don't know the ownership yet. I didn't look at that. I'm just, in terms of, it's one of the few open commercial parcels in all of Douglas.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if that does get established, which is likely, you've got the fire station, Public Works, the convenience store, gas station, and then that kind of becomes this locus now, close to that site for, we have all this other stuff, people are congregating here, here's a social link tied to that site.
And the thing is, if it did get started, you could possibly get it where it's a bus stop or something like
Mhm.
that. But that's another idea, making something, like we said, we've got two decent sized rooms. Keep one as just an open function room, but
Yeah.
then maybe make the other into, I don't wanna
Just
call it a
like a-
playroom, but a playroom, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's always an option, and then that way you're able to rent it, but you're also in a way giving back to the community.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then you've got the soccer field behind there, so I don't
Right.
know,
Yep.
somehow does that all tie in?
And I gotta tell you, some parents, I've talked to some of them, they get miserable during some of those soccer games. It's cold, it's buggy, it's porta potties, it's, there's no concession, there's nothing like that.
Mhm.
So having that as an option, it also.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
But I mean, they could use the Duhamel thing too,
what's that?
the Duhamel property.
And then if you are
The
looking
little
to,
house there.
Yeah.
Okay.
then if you are looking
Town
to
owns
maybe
that
do
too.
something like that, we put basketball courts here, put a basketball court back there.
Yeah. Right.
I said, I was joking, but I said like indoor
Handball.
high
but-
life,
Yeah.
whatever.
But no, do something like that. Like make it more.
You think about those things though, they come and they go, they come and they go, they come and they go.
But if
We have
you,
a higher, with the children, the youth population in town fairly high right now. Probably, what, we got 8,500 people now in
Is it
town?
that
Yeah.
high?
1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but
Calls.
and the thing is, if you keep it simple, then it can turn with the times. If you try to.
Yeah, make it task
Too
specific,
specific.
right, yeah, it's harder.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know, you'd have to do a town, what would the town want? What is the town looking for?
Well, we can start the conversation,
Yeah.
right, and see probably some other ideas too that we haven't thought of.
You know, Mr. Pataski of the Historic Commission got that Blanchard School into a housing. They got the grant for that.
Right. The one
In Uxbridge,
Uxbridge.
North Uxbridge.
that's being heavily worked on,
Yes,
yeah.
So what are they using it
they,
for?
it's going to be housing, elderly
Oh,
housing.
Elderly housing,
Yep.
okay.
And that's not an easy conversion, so,
Nope, it's just exactly like your elementary
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
yeah. It's getting, a total new lease on life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And see, I think the elementary school would be good for that. I don't know that the center school would be.
Right. Oh, no, that's what I meant. It would be
Yeah.
better for the
So
one
what are the-
downtown.
What are the, do you guys know, like, as far as, it's got lead paint, whatever, I'm sure it's got some of those things in there. So does that depend on what the end uses becomes? If it's just public space, do we not have to worry about that? But if it's kids,
I don't
it
know.
becomes a different
I
thing?
think lead paint you gotta worry about across the board
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
anyone under
I think-
6, if it's a private residence. But again, as a Realtor, it's a state unknown, but if it's gonna be used by the public in that
Yeah.
capacity, then you have to test for it and treat it.
I guess the question is, how much is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Has it ever been tested? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, there's at least some in them. There's no way there's none.
Right.
Right.
There is a level of.
No, it's right in that time period.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a house where every wall's painted, every
Right,
Yeah,
most
window
but if
things
it's
are
not
covered.
chipping,
Middle.
can't you just paint over it?
Yeah, yes, there are ways to mitigate it
Yeah.
without going crazy.
contain it.
Right. Okay. All right,
Anyway,
so I can contact Adam
I-
and.
I-
Who's
I
Adam
go
again?
from there.
Huh?
Who's Adam again?
Adam Vernal. I think he does like the buildings, he,
Right.
buildings
He's building
maintenance,
and
he does
maintenance.
your library a little
Ye-
bit. and-
Yeah. And even if he's not the one to talk to, he's a good starting point, he'll
Sure.
at least.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of like us going in as a group
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of looking at it and seeing if,
Taking photos, yeah.
and that way it'll be like, well, is this even worth pursuing?
Right,
And if we're all together, we can bounce ideas off each other as opposed to,
yeah, I agree.
And I can draw
We
plans.
should do all of them.
If we measure it, I can draw plans.
We could do the fire station and look at that and look at the elementary too. I mean, when was the last time anybody's been in any of those to
I've
look at
never been
them?
in the
Yeah.
elementary school.
I've never been in the school.
I've been in the elementary school because they used to do the haunted houses.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I've been in
Wait.
the school, the old school.
Once again, once upon a time.
Do we wanna just make it a haunted house again? I think I'm itching to do that anyway. Maybe it's more money than we realize.
Well, like I said, the
Oh,
fire
I think it
station,
is.
the fire station did it for 3 or 4 years, maybe more, and they were making good money. But then I think the liability became too much,
That's-
and then I think either the Boy Scouts or the Little League, Lassie League took it over, and it only lasted another year or so because it just, like I said, the liability I think became a factor in it.
Right, right.
But it really was a perfect building for a haunted house. And it was actually scarier in the day when nobody was in there than at night when you were doing the haunted house.
Yeah, there's another town that had one that they stopped doing it for a similar reason, like a liability reason. But the numbers were like crazy. They were making like,
Yeah, like I said, I want to say they were making
$50,000.
really
Wow.
good money when they
Yeah.
were doing it. But
That's out of my league.
okay. I don't know, there's some old things on here, like a walking tour, cemetery plaques. I don't know if there's anything.
Mm,
you're working on the cemeteries.
always. Always, always and forever. Till they finally go in there and never come back out.
That's his plaque, that's his headstone is gonna be.
John Furno asked me how much time I had to take down the tree in the cemetery. I said, until I die. Okay.
Oh.
Until I die, but the cemeteries are going to kill me. So
People just don't realize how long it takes, except for maybe you. I mean, like the other day I spent like 3 hours down there and I did like, 11 stones.
To clean them?
And that was quick. No, I don't even clean them. This
Oh.
is just documenting them.
Oh, wow.
You know, the state, the condition, where they are, the location, pictures.
Yeah.
Then I gotta go home and match them up, and then I'm like,
Right,
you can't
it's a
read
lot of
the,
work,
can't
yeah.
read this one. I gotta go back down and look at it again.
Oh my gosh.
So, ugh.
Huh.
So
Getting there.
I don't think, obviously not this year, but next year, we should try to do. How many of the old cemeteries can you even get to?
You can get to all of them. They have to, even
I was
if it's
gonna-
private, they have to provide some form of access to.
Well, because what I was going to say, like maybe next fall you look at doing cemetery tours
Yeah.
during.
We do that on Halloween.
Yeah,
But no, I mean like set it up so it's a couple of weekends. Or
Right.
s-
You can have lunch in the tomb.
right.
Or we could videotape
Correct.
you and just anyone could watch it online whenever they wanted.
They actually, who did, we actually do have a cemetery tour video that was done.
Yes. Katie Grace narrated it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Of just one cemetery?
No, all of them.
She did one of all of them?
She narrated it. Evan Chesborough, my husband, and I all did it.
Wow.
Yes.
Why isn't that visible?
Well, it is on.
They own it somewhere.
It is on the Douglas YouTube. When Betsy finishes the cemeteries, the library will be linking it when we
Okay.
do the finding aid.
Okay.
But if you want, I'll see if I can locate it and I'll see if I can shoot you the link.
yeah, that's a cool thing,
Okay.
yeah.
Sarah's doing the, what is it? what are they, Pine Grove.
Yeah.
She's doing this Pine Grove one.
And then at the library, we,
I
well,
have a camera for you. I finally
what
found all the
Betsy's
parts.
working on is, the library's then gonna have all the books that have all the.
That took me a while.
Have all the cemeteries
Right.
and the plots.
Yep.
Oh, but all in a book?
Well, they're individual books by the cemetery.
Okay. Wow, okay. that's
The
great.
not problem, but they're not the problem with books is they're not searchable and they're by plot, not by name, right?
They're actually kind of searchable if you go to Find a Grave.
No,
'Cause
I'm
in
saying
Find
the
a Grave
books,
you can find
I'm
most
saying the
of those.
books we have at the library are
Right.
searchable,
Right.
because they're by plot, not
Right,
by name.
right.
Yeah, so you're not.
Mine are by name.
Yours, you,
South Streets are not.
they're by plot.
Are yours filed by name?
I think they're only by the plot. It's like a map,
Okay,
so, yeah.
so yours are by plot. Mine are by name.
So what you would then have to do is do a corresponding key
Mm-hmm,
with plot and name,
Yeah.
so that it's an index.
Right.
yeah, okay.
If you ever finish, you can do that.
I have lots of jobs.
Yes. All right. What else?
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to pursue so is it better, well, we can figure that out later, but we could,
I think we should look at the properties before we
Yeah, I-
have a thought on.
yeah, I agree, but what I was gonna say is do we try to do all three in like one meeting, or do we go to one and then see if that's reasonable, and if
Ask
not?
Adam and see how convenient it is to try to get into the different properties.
Depends on how stinky it is too.
Stinky.
Yeah, mold isn't my favorite thing.
No.
Three masks.
And I know that basement, the stuff that he pulled out of the basement at the center school, he brought to my house and I said, I'm not even touching that. It was covered.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. It was the Women's Relief Corps records. I know, but Becky, you wouldn't have even touched them either.
I know, I wouldn't have, but that.
They were covered
That stuff
in
hurts.
this white
Yeah.
mold.
Well, because the problem is, people don't think of, they're like basements, they think water damage, they don't think of basements the dampness doing just as much damage as a flooded basement would do.
Yuck.
Ick.
Moist, air, circulating air is the best thing, as you know. Just open the windows and the mold goes out.
Yeah.
You can't survive in an uncontained environment.
Yeah, most basements though, it's no window.
I don't even know if that basement has an outside access.
Yeah, it does.
That one does have outside
Yeah, because
access.
that's where we used to go with the bathrooms. There's two little doors.
Right.
Okay.
There was a boys' side and the girls' side. I went to school there.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, so we can.
when I was little.
All right, so do we just, do you want to set up a meeting for the next one, or? I'm just thinking
Yeah, what's
before we
between,
get into,
between Thanksgiving and Christmas?
get into dates that are,
So we're not gonna have time to make this grant.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
right.
It's a month
But-
away.
But there's
this-
always something around
there-
the
there's
corner.
something
Again,
else-
they do this
All the
every,
Yeah, so-
every one
year.
in the spring.
So we now know that this is an option, so now I think if we try and get,
For next one.
at least get groundwork laid,
Yeah,
look at the
and
buildings.
look at phases.
I think we should make an appointment with Adam to view maybe one at a time,
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and see what they look like, take pictures,
What's,
and put together some
what are-
kind of a
I know your
folder.
schedule changes, but like, what are people's schedules generally, so I can work around, because I can kind of, like, if
I'm-
it's just in town, I can be flexible.
I'm Monday and Wednesday, 10 to 2.
You work, that's when you work.
That's my work schedule.
Monday and Wednesday.
Yep, I can play around with it a little bit, but I couldn't this time because of Arizona. I already played around with it because I'm going to Arizona, but normally Justin does
Okay,
give me a
that's
little
easy- well, that's easy
flexibility.
enough. And then both of you kind of do some weekend work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I don't know if Adam would do
it.
it on the weekends though. I mean,
Usually I've been off the weekends, and now just the past 3 weeks, I've been working every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, and if you work during the week, is it,
Right now, it's gonna be, because it's gonna change.
yeah.
But right now, we're flat out. so
Yeah.
I'm working every day.
But is it like daytime or nighttime or
Both.
changes? Okay.
But it changes, I'm only doing 4 hours today, 4 hours tomorrow, and Thursday I'm off Friday,
Yeah.
but then I'm working Saturday from 4 to close, Sunday.
So what would
from-
you suggest if I go to Adam, you know, other than the dates that Becky's working, do I ask for morning? Do I ask for late in
Morning's
the day?
always better for me, just in general, I'm a morning
Yeah,
person.
and usually I can get here by 9. Okay, all right.
I'm usually up by 4:30. 10 o'clock.
I live by the rule of I hate mornings, but I do them when I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're talking 7 a.m.
No.
If we are, we gotta talk, cause that ain't gonna work.
And it may get, I don't know yet, but it may get busier for me because of the holidays
Yeah, I'm sure it will, so,
for the store.
I
And
almost
that's why I was
wonder.
think-
I'm almost wondering, like, if we can try the sooner the better. Like,
yeah.
I get back November 3rd, so after that, I'm open.
Okay,
And again, if I know, again, if it's gonna be an hour, I can say I'm not coming in until 11. I
yeah,
got, like today, so I can give them a little notice and say, I'm gonna be an hour late.
right,
'cause I
You
got
wanna
some
bring a
stuff going on.
camera?
Yeah, I'll bring.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone's got
bring your
cameras on
camera.
their phones, so.
yeah.
I've also got one of the rebels
She has a nice camera.
with the lenses and stuff.
Okay, all right. And do we want to, I'm just thinking before it gets to Christmas, do we want to just schedule the next meeting so
Yeah.
that we're not
Sure.
trying to figure out a date? And do we?
December 24th.
Sean's kind
I'm probably working.
I'm not
I'll
sure.
be
'cause,
working till
like,
6 PM that day.
A lot of us can do 9, but I don't know if we want to do like one evening.
I don't know. What is, has Deshaun,
Sean, like I think he can usually, he can do some mornings, but not all of them. And if it's, I think if it's at night, if it's at like a, you know, dinner time.
7 PM.
It's gonna be more later, but like,
just pick one.
Make a line in the sand and change it.
so
if we need to.
like a later November or early December?
That's early December.
Okay.
Because by then, we hopefully will have, my work will be a little more stabilized.
But sometimes you have Fridays off, David?
Yes,
We would do a Friday,
because the
Se-
store doesn't open until
the
10, so the
7th?
noonest, as soon as I need to be there, it's 10 o'clock.
what, Friday the 7th
Yeah.
of December?
DE Day, wasn't it? What was December 7th? Attack of Pearl Harbor or something?
Pearl Harbor was December 7th.
At 9?
Yeah.
Helps if you can spell.
I just double check it with Sean, but I don't know if he'll know that far ahead.
Yep.
I said it helps when you can put it on the calendar. That way you can kind of work
Around it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Dave, do you want these? I don't know.
Yeah.
Official file. All right, so we're gonna adjourn?
Yep.
Mhm.
We adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.